Hello everyone. Hope you all are safe and doing well. Welcome you all to the video lecture series of Python programming. My name is Gauri Kulkarni and let us start with the very first lecture of Python programming. So welcome you all to the Python programming. Let us first see what is the syllabus of this course. So this is the syllabus. The first topic of the syllabus is Introduction to Programming and the other is Program Execution. Before we start the Python programming, we have to know what is the programming exactly and how does a program execution takes place. Hence, we are going to learn these two topics very first. After that, Introduction to Python, Characteristic of Python, History of Python, Speciality of Python, Applications of Python, what is the extension of Python program, then logo, then software type of a Python, then how we do the installation of Python, how to start and close the Python program, things to remember about Python identifier, comments, operators and data types in Python, if-else syntax, while loop syntax and for loop syntax. Let us see what exactly are these programming constructors at the same time when we learn it. Things to remember about indentation in Python program, color codes used in Python program, advantages of Python and lots of programming exercises based on Python. So let us start with the next slide. Now let us start with the lecture 1. First, we are going to see few questions, then introduction to the programming and then program execution. Now what are those few questions? The first is, what is a computer program itself? Then, what is a programming language? And then, how does a program get executed? Let us try to find the answers for these questions. Introduction to a programming. A computer program. A computer program is a collection of instructions that performs a specific task when executed by a computer. When we have to do some task, some instructions are given to us and we follow it to complete that task or to obtain its result. The computer operates in the same way. It doesn't have its own brain. If we have to get some task done by a computer, first we have to give some instruction, a step-by-step procedure that has to be followed by a computer to complete that specific task and give the output to us. And that steps or step-by-step procedure are given in the form of instructions. Hence, it is called as a collection of instructions that performs a specific task when executed by a computer. Hence, a computer program is basically a collection of instructions to perform a specific task that is executed by a computer. Now, there are various languages in which we write the computer program, and those languages are called as programming languages. Examples of programming languages are C, C++, Java, and what we are going to learn is Python. Now, let us take a look at the concept of syntax. What is syntax? It refers to the rules those specify the correct structure and sequence for writing the instructions of program. Now, when you write some passage in Marathi or English or any other language, you follow some rules. You use exclamatory mark or you use full stop, semicolon, inverted comma, etc. These are the rules you have to follow while writing some passage or writing anything in that particular language. In the same way, we have to follow some rules while writing the instruction of program so that it will have a correct structure and the sequence for that instruction, and that is called as nothing but the syntax. Different programming language will have different syntax. For example, C and C++ syntax will be different from that of Java, and there is also a difference between Python syntax and Java syntax. So, it is called as each of the programming language has a different syntax. So, basically, syntax are the grammar of programming language. Now let us see the relation between all these terms. Look at this diagram. A programmer makes use of a programming language and the corresponding syntax of that programming language, or we can say the rules to write that programming language, and make a computer program that completes a task by using this computer program, and that task gives the output to again a programmer. Hence, we can say a computer program which is made up of programming language and corresponding syntax that is given by a programmer. That computer program executes some task and gives the output again to the programmer. Now let us see how does a program execution happens. There are 4 steps in the program execution. First is source code, the second is compiler, third is interpreter, and the fourth one and the last one is execution. Now remember, some programs just use compilers, for example the programs in C and C++, while the other programs uses both compiler as well as interpreter, for example the programs of Java and Python. Now let us see what is a source code. Source code is written in a text editor by using high-level language. That means the program that is written in a text editor using high-level language is called as a source code. For understanding this thing, we will take one example. First, let us understand what is a high-level language and what is a low-level language. The high-level language is the language which uses English keywords or the syntax which is similar to English to write the program. This is the example of simple Python program to add 2 numbers written in high-level language. The high-level language programs are those programs of the languages C, C++, Java, Python, etc. Now let us understand what is a low-level language. A low-level language is the language of zeros and ones, that is, the language which use binary numbers to understand the given program, to make understand the given program to the computer. And this low-level language program is also called as a machine code, that is understood by a computer. So, the high-level language understood by the user or human, and machine code or low-level language is understood by a computer. Now, the source code written in a text editor. What is the text editor? The Text editor is the software which we use to write the program. For example, Notepad is one of the text editor. There are others like Notepad++, NetBeans, Eclipse, etc. Now let us see what is a compiler. Scans a complete program, gives syntax error if any, and converts into machine code or machine level or low level language. Now let us see how it works. This is a simple Python program. What does a compiler do? It scans a complete program. If there is an error, like if I give full stop here, it is not allowed to give the full stop at the end of the sentence in any programming language. So after scanning this whole program, a compiler will give the error in this first line to remove this full stop. And once I correct this error after it being notified to me by a compiler, then the compiler will again scan this complete program. If there is no error, then it will start converting it line by line into the machine code in this way. So the compiler scans complete program, gives a syntax error if any, and then convert it into the machine code in this way. I am not saying this is the right sequence for a binary numbers or right sequence of binary number for the instruction A is equal to B. It can be anything, but for the example I am taking this sequence as a machine code of this A is equal to 5 instruction. Now let us see what is interpreter. Interpreter scans each line and immediately converts into the machine code, gives syntax as well as logical error if any in the given line. Now see the difference. It scans single line at a time, and if there is an error like syntax error or logical error, it immediately notifies the programmer, and until the programmer solves that error, an interpreter doesn't scan the next line. So first it scans this line. If there is a syntax or logical error in this line, it gives. First we have to correct that error and then it will go to scan the next line. So unlike compiler, the interpreter scans line by line, whereas compiler scans each whole program at a single time. Now let us see what is a logical error. Suppose I put A is equal to X, Y, Z. It is not a compilation error or syntax error because XYZ as a string or XYZ character can be assigned to character A. This is the syntactical rule. But how can you add XYZ plus 3 and what will give the answer? So this is the wrong logic. Hence, if you assign XYZ to A and B equal to 3 and add A plus B, that is XYZ plus 3, you cannot predict the answer. So there is a mistake in the logic and hence it is a logical error. The last step is execution. The machine code is loaded into the operating system and stored in the main memory, and then this machine code is executed or run by the CPU to produce the output. That is, the machine code means the binary code which we have seen earlier. So this was our first lecture. Don't forget to solve the assignment based on this lecture which will be given to you. Let us meet in the next lecture. Thank you. Bye bye.